One subject that many people have challenge coping with is the Igbo conjunction. But never worry, this video has come to simplify that subject for you. So the only challenge you have is not watching this video to the very end. So join me as we go to class and do this together. I am the Igbo tutor, Odien Kuzibo. You are welcome to class. Let's begin. Remember, we're dealing with conjunction. In Igbo language, you call conjunction njiko, as you can see here. Njiko, that's what we call conjunction. In this lesson series, we're going to cover a number of issues here. Number one, definition of conjunction, which is called nkowa in Igbo language. Nkowa. Not only that, we're going to look at types. Types means udidi chiche in Igbo language. Types. We're going to look at examples of conjunction. We call it ihe atụ in Igbo. Ihe atụ. Examples of conjunction. Then we'll look at usage of conjunction in sentences. In Igbo, we say itinye ya na ahịrịokwu. Ahịrịokwu is sentence in Igbo language. So these are the four areas we're going to look into to have a perfect understanding of conjunction in Igbo language. Let's move on now. The first one, definition, which we call nkowa. Let's look at the simple definition of conjunction in English first before Igbo. Conjunction is a word or phrase used to join two words, two phrases, clauses, or even sentences to enable us convey a particular thought accurately. But let's look at that in Igbo language and see what it looks like. Njiko, of course you know njiko by now, is conjunction. Njiko bụ mkpụrụ okwu ma ọ bụ phrase eji ejikọta mkpụrụ okwu abụọ, phrase, ahịrịokwu nta ma ọ bụ ahịrịokwu abụọ nke ga-eme ka echiche anyị kwee nghọta. That is the Igbo version of the description or definition rather. So we move on from here. Second thing we're going to look at is the types of conjunction. Udidi chiche ya. Let's look at it this way. We have three types of conjunction. Anyị nwere ụdị njikọ atọ. Anyị nwere ụdị njikọ atọ. Let's look at the three types. Number one, coordinating conjunction. In Igbo, we call it njikọ ranrata. Something that they say is ranrata is equal in weight, equal in strength. Njikọ ranrata. Nke abụọ, which is number two, subordinating conjunction. In Igbo, we call it njikọ nne na nwa. Nne means mother, nwa means child. It's like saying mother and child. Njikọ nne na nwa. So they don't have equal strength, mother and child. Then we go to the third type of conjunction, which is correlative conjunction. In Igbo, we call that njikọ na-eso ibe. Njikọ na-eso ibe. This na-eso means following. Na-eso ibe, following itself or each other or relation. So they are related. That's why they call it correlative. They are talking about a similar thing at the same time. So we move on from here. We're going to look at number three part of these studies, which is examples. Ihe atụ. Examples. So let's look at the examples, beginning with coordinating conjunction. What are the examples? Look at this table here now. We have examples of them: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. Let's look at the Igbo versions. For in Igbo is called nihi or maka, as the case may be. We either call it nihi or maka, depending on where they are used in the form of sentence. Number two is and. And what is that in Igbo? We either call it ma or na, depending on where they are used. When we are joining two words together, we always use na. Oke, ke, na, okafo. But when we are making a long sentence, we use ma. Okay? Ma. Right. Next one is no. No in Igbo is nke. Nke. But there are other things that will follow this, depending on the sentence we're dealing with. Sometimes it go to be nke ogabo or nke ozo. So, but nke will always be there. The fourth one is but. In Igbo, but is mana. Mana. Okay? Next is or. Or in Igbo, or is ma obu. Ma obu. Ma obu. Next is yet. Yet. In Igbo, yet is etuodi. Etuodi. Finally, under coordinating conjunction, we have so, and so is ya mere in Igbo language. Let's look at other types, and then we're looking at subordinating conjunction now, and we'll look at the examples. We're going to have a table too for this, but in subordinating conjunction, we classify them according to the usage, and we have about how many classes here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 classes. We have class 1, comparison, 2, time, 3, concession, 4, relative pronoun, 5, reason, 6, condition, 7, place, and 8, relative adjective, and 9, manner. So the usage, we detect the class they fall. Let's look at the comparison, comparing two things to know which one is better or faster or bigger or smaller, as the case may be. So we use than here. And in Igbo, than means carrier, that is that in Igbo. Then when we are talking about time as a class, we have example here, until. Until in Igbo, until is rue mgbe. We go to concession. I'm conceding something to somebody. And then we have example here, although in Igbo, although is n'agbanyeghị. Sometimes we remove the N. If this thing is beginning a sentence, we may just say agbanyeghị, okay? But n'agbanyeghị is right. Then we go to another class, relative pronoun. Example we have here is whoever. And in Igbo, whoever is onye ọbụla. This L is changed to N. Sometimes in some clans in Igbo language, they may call this onye ọbụla, especially if you are from Anambra. They change this L to N, it becomes onye ọbụla. Okay, move on. Another class is class for reason. Example we have here is because. And let's see what that is in Igbo. Because is n'ihi. Another class is class for condition. And the example we have for condition is if. Igbo version for if is oborona, but sometimes we leave it as oboro. Okay. Another class is class for place. An example we have here is wherever. In Igbo, wherever is ebe ọbụla. Of course, I told you earlier, some will use ebe ọbụla, changing this L to N, ebe ọbụla. All are correct. Another class is class for relative adjective. Example is whichever. In Igbo, whichever means nke ọbụla or nke ọbụna, as the case may be. Nke ọbụla. Finally, we have class for manner. Manner in Igbo is example. Example of manner is as if. And in Igbo, as if means kagasi. Move on to the final type and the examples for that. The final type is correlative conjunction. And this is always coming in pair. We call it njikọ so ibe. They are always following each other in pair. So we have both and, either or, neither nor, whether or, not only but, such, that, scarcely, when, no sooner than. Let's look at the Igbo versions. Both and, we have ma. You say, why are they alike? You will understand when we apply them in a sentence. You will see why they are like that. Then we go to either or. Igbo version is nke maọbụ. Third one is neither nor. In Igbo, it is ọbụghị nke ọ ga-abụ. Okay? But there are other ways these are applied in usage. When the sentence changes, this can change also. Okay, that's why this is tricky. Then we have whether or. In Igbo, it is maọbụ. Okay, move on to not only but. In Igbo, it is ọbụghị sọ kama. And then we go to the next one, such and that. And then we have naanị, then followed by nke mere. You will understand when we apply them in sentences. scarcely, and when. We have oka mbe. Okay? Then we have finally no sooner than. In Igbo, it is ngwa ngwa ka. Of course, when we go to usage, these things will get clearer. So let's go to usage in sentences. Itinye ya n'ahịrịokwu. Itinye ya n'ahịrịokwu. Usage in sentences. We're beginning with coordinating conjunction. Njikọra nrata. Let's see how they are used. Remember, these are examples, just to refresh your memory on that. N'ihi or maka, ma or na, nke, mana, maọbụ, etu ọ dị, and ya mere. Let's begin to use them in sentences, beginning with number one example. And the conjunction we're looking at here is for, which is in Igbo, nihina, nihina. We'll look at sentences for that. English sentence first. By now, you'll understand that this channel specializes in using color code to help our students understand the individual meaning of each word. So if you are used to our channel, we use color code to help you understand individual meaning of each word. By this, we help our students to comprehend a sentence better and also learn word meaning, phrase meaning, and then sentence meaning. This gives you a whole lot of advantage just in one sentence. You can learn about how many words here. For example, we have I believe him for. He spoke the truth. These are different words that have different meanings. So we give you the meaning of each word in Igbo language as we construct the sentence. So the first sentence here is, I believe him for he spoke the truth. Let's see what it is in Igbo language. Ekwere m ya n'ihi na o kwuru eziokwu. Our conjunction is in blue color and underlined, so you pay attention to them, while you also take advantage of meaning of other words that are explained through their colors. Okay, for, n'ihi na, okay. Ekwere m ya n'ihi na o kwuru eziokwu. Let's go to another example of conjunction, which is and. And in Igbo, it is ma or na, as the case may be. We'll look at the sentence now. He left us and ran away. He left us and ran away. Let's look at the Igbo version. Ọ hapụrụ anyị ma gbara pụọ. Ọ hapụrụ anyị ma gbara pụọ. Of course, you remember a conjunction underlined and in blue color. And ma. Ọ hapụrụ anyị ma gbara pụọ. If I say, okay, anyị na ha, that's when I say when we use na, when we are talking about only two words being joined together. Anyị na ha, for example, we and them. I'm only just using that, it's not here now. So let's go to third example of coordinating conjunction. No, and the Igbo version is nke, nke, nke. Now let's go to sentence. I don't want this food, nor do I want the cook. I don't want this food, nor do I want the cook. Igbo version. Achọghị m nri a nke m ga-achọ onye siri ya. Achọghị m nri a nke m ga-achọ onye siri ya. Believe that is clear enough. No, nke. Right, to move on to another example here, which is bet. In Igbo, it is mana. Mana. Let's look at sentence usage. They came there, but they were late. They came there, but they were late. Igbo version. Ha bịara ebe ahụ, mana ha bịara n'azụ oge. Take advantage of the colors for individual word meaning. For the conjunction now, but. Mana. Ha bịara ebe ahụ, mana ha bịara n'azụ oge. Late. Hello, thanks for learning with us. But do you know that this video has ebook that will serve as a revision material for you? That's not all. The ebook also has a downloadable audio which you can listen to while you're going through the book. This is added advantage for you. You can find it anywhere like this. How do you get the book? Very simple. This book and many other of its type are all in our bookshop. The link to the bookshop is accessible through the description box of this particular video. So dive in there down and then access the bookshop through the link included in the description box of this video. Buy one or two or three of them today and you'll be glad you did. Let's do that. as we go back to class. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the next example, and that is or. In Igbo, it means mobo. Mobo. Let's look at sentence usage. I will go camping or I will go shopping. Let's see the Igbo version. Aga m aga njem izu ike maọbụ aga m ịzụ ahịa. Aga m aga njem izu ike maọbụ aga m ịzụ ahịa. Remember, or maọbụ. That is the conjunction. We'll move on now. And the next is yet. Yet. Igbo version is etuodi. Etuodi. Let's look at the sentence usage. Okeke failed exam, yet his parents love him. Okeke failed exam, yet his parents love him. Igbo version. Okeke dara ule. Etuodi. Ndị mụrụ ya n'anya. Okeke dara ule. Etuodi. Ndị hụrụ ya n'anya. Nevertheless, they love him. Okay? We'll move on to so. And Igbo is ya mere. Ya mere. We'll look at the sentence now. I was hungry, so I cooked food. What is that in Igbo? Agụụ gụrụ m, ya mere, esiri m nri. Agụụ gụrụ m, ya mere, esiri m nri. So, ya mere. That is clear enough. So we go to the second type of conjunction, subordinating conjunction. Remember the examples we had and the classifications we had earlier on, just to refresh your mind. Okay? But we have done that already. Karịa ruo mgbe, n'agbanyeghị, onye ọbụla, n'ihi na, maọbụ, ebe ọbụla, nke ọbụla, ka a ga-asị. And these are their English versions, as we learned earlier. So let's move straight to sentence examples, beginning with the class comparison. And the example we have here is Dan. And the Igbo version is karịa. Let's look at the sentence. Going to school is better than learning a trade. Let's see the Igbo version. Ịga ụlọ akwụkwọ dị mma karịa ịmụ ọrụ aka. Ịga ụlọ akwụkwọ dị mma karịa ịmụ ọrụ aka. Look at the conjunction. Dan. Karịa. It's clear enough here. We'll move to number 2 example. And class is time. The time and the conjunction is until. Until. The Igbo version is rue mgbe. Rue mgbe. Let's look at sentence example. You will continue failing until you change. You will continue failing until you change. Let's look at the Igbo. Ị ga na-ada rue mgbe ị ga-ịgbanwere. Ị ga na-ada rue mgbe ịgbanwere. Remember, until, rue mgbe. Ị ga na-ada rue mgbe ịgbanwere. Until you change. Rue mgbe ịgbanwere. Move to the next one. And the class here is concession. Concession. And the conjunction is although. Although. And the Igbo version is agbanyeghị. Agbanyeghị. Let's look at the sentence. Although you are beautiful, I will not marry you. Although you are beautiful, I will not marry you. Let's look at the Igbo version. Agbanyeghị na ị mara mma, agaghị m alụ gị. Agbanyeghị na ị mara mma, agaghị m alụ gị. We'll move on to the next one, which is the class relative pronoun. The conjunction is whoever. Whoever. Igbo version, onye ọbụla. Onye ọbụla. Let's look at the sentence. It doesn't matter, or it does not matter whoever is present. It does not matter whoever is present. The Igbo version says, nweghị ihe o mere, onye ọbụla nọ ya. Nweghị ihe o mere, onye ọbụla nọ ya. Whoever, onye ọbụla. Okay? We'll move on to reason. Reason class. And the example here is because. Because in Igbo is nihi. Sometimes it's nihina. Especially when we use them in sentence, we add na to it as it may be required. Sentence is, I will buy it because it is cheap. Let's see the Igbo version. Aga m azụta ya n'ihi na ọ dị ọnụ ala. Aga m azụta ya n'ihi na ọ dị ọnụ ala. I just said earlier that because sometimes you put na to it, nihi na, okay? But when this nihi is beginning a sentence, we may not add nihi, we may not add na to it, okay? We may just say nihi, okay? But when it comes to middle of a sentence, na will always follow it as a reason for an action, okay? Move on to another class, and this class is class of condition. Condition. Conjunction is if, and the Igbo version is oborona. Oborona. Sometimes we use only oboro. Okay. We'll move to example. I will give you gifts if you win. I will give you gifts if you win. Let's see the Igbo version. Aga m enye gị onyinye ma ọ bụrụ na ị merie. Ma ọ bụrụ na ị merie. Okay. Oborona, you say, oh, why do we add ma to it? Okay, it is to make it, have a smooth flow, smooth sail. Sometimes we put ma or na at the back, as the case may be. Okay, we'll move on to another example, and this is a class for place. Place, and the conjunction is wherever. The Igbo version is ebe obola. There's no need to put double E here. It's a typographical error. Ebe obola, not ebe obola. It's one E. Okay? Move to sentence example. What do we have? He follows him wherever he goes. He follows him wherever he goes. What is the Igbo version? Ọ na-eso ya ebe ọbụla ọ na-aga. Ọ na-eso ya ebe ọbụla ọ na-aga. Conjunction wherever, ebe ọbụla. Hope that is clear enough. We go to another class, which is relative adjective. The conjunction is whichever. Whichever. And the Igbo version is nke ọbụla. Nke ọbụla. Let's look at sentence usage. I will give you whichever you prefer. I will give you whichever you prefer. What is the Igbo version? Aga m enye gị nke ọbụla ka gị mma. Aga m enye gị nke ọbụla ka gị mma, whichever you prefer. Ke ka gị mma. Okay, move on to manner. This is the last for this type of subordinating conjunction. Manner, as if. As if. That is the example we're looking at. And the Igbo is kagasi. Kagasi. Let's look at the sentence usage. You are laughing as if all is well. You are laughing as if all is well. The Igbo version, ị na-achị ọchị ka a ga-asị na ihe niile dị mma. Ị na-achị ọchị ka a ga-asị na ihe niile dị mma. Yeah, now we're going to the last type and the examples for their usage, which is correlative conjunction. You remember this? We've done this before. Just to remind you once again, ma na nke a ma ọ bụ adịghị nke ọ ga-adị ma ọ bụ ọ bụghị sọ kama naanị nke mere ọ ka mgbe ngwa ngwa ka. Of course, these are the Igbo versions for all this. So we move straight to sentence usage. We begin with both and. Told you it is ma. The Igbo language. You wonder why they are the same, not different. Let's look at the sentence to explain that. The man sells both clothes and footwear. The man sells both clothes and footwear. What is that in Igbo? Nwoke ahụ na-ere ma akwa ma akpụkpọ ụkwụ. That is the word ma. We don't have any other word for both and except ma. Okay? Nwoke ahụ na-ere ma akwa ma akpụkpọ ụkwụ. That is the Igbo version for this sentence. We move on to another example, which is either or. In this Igbo usage, either is silent. We only have or, which is mob. So either will be silent in Igbo usage. We're going to see the example now in sentence. I will eat either rice or yam for lunch. I will eat either rice or yam for lunch. Let's look at the Igbo version. Aga m eri osikapa. Either is out entirely and vacant. We don't put anything here. We just say aga m eri osikapa. There's no word for either here. Okay? Osikapa ma ọ bụ ji. This is or. maọbụ ji maka nri ehihie. Hope that is clear enough. So you don't put anything here at all. You only have maọbụ here. And that makes the same meaning in Igbo language. We go to neither nor, neither nor. And Igbo version is ade nke but this can change depending on the usage. The plate is neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Let's look at the Igbo version. Efere ahụ adịghị ebe a nke ọ ga-adị ebe ahụ. Efere ahụ adịghị ebe a nke ọ ga-adị ebe ahụ. Assuming that I want to say, I am neither a Nigerian nor a black person. Okay, I'm neither a Nigerian nor black. How do I say that? It won't be this version again. It won't be this again. There will be a change. I will say, abụghị m onye Nigeria nke m ga-abụ. It's not going to be adịghị m again, but abụghị m. Okay, it can be a rim. It can be a choim. Nke m ga-achọ, depending on what the expression is actually talking about. I've just given an example. I don't want this, nor I neither want this nor that. Achọghị m nke m ga-achọ nke ọzọ. So this can always change. But in this case, adịghị or dị nke ọ ga-adị, that is something in a particular place. Efere ahụ adịghị ebe a nke ọ ga-adị ebe ahụ. So I hope this is clear enough. Let's go to next example. Whether or, the word is in Igbo, ma, maọbụ. Okay? Move to example in sentence. I don't care whether they come or not. I don't care whether they come or not. In Igbo, what is this? Ọ gbasaghị m ma ha bịara maọbụ na ha bịaghị. Ọ gbasaghị m ma ha bịara maọbụ na ha bịaghị. Okay? That is what it should be. Maọbụ na ha bịaghị. Okay? So that is it. We'll move on to the next one. And the next example is not only, but sometimes also is added to it. Not only, but sometimes also is added. Ọ bụghị sọ kama, that is the Igbo version. Let's look at sentence usage. He not only studies hard, but also works well. He not only studies hard, but also works well. The Igbo version. Ọ bụghị sọ na ọ na-agụsi akwụkwọ ike kama ọ na-alụ ọrụ nke ọma. Ọ bụghị sọ na ọ na-agụsi akwụkwọ ike kama ọ na-arụ ọrụ nke ọma. Look at the conjunctions that are underlined, but also kama, not only. Ọ bụghị sọ. Hope that is clear enough. Move to the next one. Such and that. No nke mere as the Igbo version. Let's look at the sentence. It's such a small food that I have to finish it quickly. It's such a small food that I have to finish it quickly. Let's look at the Igbo version. Ọ bụ nnọọ obere nri nke mere m ji richaa ya ọsịsọ. Can see such. No. This is not no as in greeting. This is no. The sound is not the same. Greeting as welcome is no. This is no. Okay? Nke mere. Okay? That. Nji richaa ya ọsịsọ. Ọ bụ nnọọ obere nri nke mere m ji richaa ya ọsịsọ. We move on to another example. Scarcely when. And then the Igbo version, ọka mgbe. To be clearer in the sentence. Scarcely had he entered when the phone rang. Scarcely had he entered when the phone rang. Let's see the Igbo version. Ọka banyechabeghị mgbe ekwentị ahụ kụrụ. Ọka banyechabeghị. He's just entering. As soon as entering, he has not even finished entering. Ọka banyechabeghị mgbe ekwentị ahụ kụrụ. Okay, that is Igbo version. We go to another one, which is no sooner than. No sooner than. And the Igbo version is ngwa ngwa, then followed by ka. Let's look at the sentence. No sooner did she enter, this is enter, the E here is not supposed to be there at the back, than she saw a rat. No sooner did she enter than she saw a rat. Igbo version. Ngwa ngwa ọ banyere ka ọ hụrụ oke. Ngwa ngwa ọ banyere ka ọ hụrụ oke. Thank you as you follow me to the end of this lesson. But you have to go through this over and over again for you to be able to have a better and a perfect example. Until you can understand it very well, keep going through this video over and over again. And then don't forget to download, go to the link in the description box and download the ebook and go through them. It's going to be a revision material for you that when you are offline, you can go through the book and listen to the audio over and over again. Don't forget to like this video and then put your comment down. Let's know how to help you more. If you have a suggestion on the video you want us to do, please drop it in the comment section. Thank you for being with us. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. KMSA.